I've always loved things that go fast. When I heard about Formula One's plans for a ginormous racetrack laid out in Las Vegas, of all places, I needed to know more. More about how exactly one hosts a race in one of the busiest entertainment centers in the world, let alone a race stretching nearly 4 miles in length, accommodating cars that can reach speeds of 220 miles per hour. Hello, everyone. My name is Malcolm Gladwell. I am the host of the Revisionist History podcast. I just want to dwell on this point for a moment. So, the fan experience back then was at a remove. It was relatively opaque, hard to figure out what's going on. And so that necessarily limited the size of the audience. Is that what you're saying? You'd have to be a fan.
I think about it a little bit. You know, we used to participate, or fans could enjoy sports sitting around the radio, and then TV brought the ability to visually experience and celebrate and participate. And then if you're not able to be in person at the event, what 5G is bringing to F1 and to Major Baseball or to even CLGP is accessibility. It democratizes the access for people to feel like they're a part of the event. You can put on an Oculus headset and you can ride the track around, which most people don't get the opportunity to do that. And you can get a sense for what speed around each corner is like. And technology allows you to have a very different kind of experience with the sport.
It was produced on a vehicle that was moving on the track, and then we took it out over the 5G network.
Left unchecked. I'm just going to watch this forever. Oh, okay. I know. All right, I'm going to give up really shortly, but this is rad. Okay. That's my first ever. I've never done that.
Oh,
before.
really?
You've never done that before. First time for everything. Emily, has there ever been a Grand Prix event that approaches this Las Vegas one in terms of the kind of technological sophistication?
So from that point of view, to your earlier question around how the sport has evolved, Formula One was bought by Liberty Media in 2017, and they made it very clear to us that their objective was we want 23 Super Bowls. We obviously got Miami on the calendar, which was incredibly successful. We have Austin already, who's been on the calendar for around 14 years. So they've really set the benchmark in the US. And the brief was, we want to take this up a notch, we want to take it to the next level. How do we make sure that we create the ultimate fan experience? So when I first moved here about 2 years ago and started working on some of this stuff, we actually mapped out who our ideal sponsors and partners would be to create that fan experience. And at the top of that list was T-Mobile. From a technology standpoint, how do we get them to help us create this experience of which we have fan-connected events? And I remember sitting in meetings in London in 2017 saying, how do we bring all of this together? How do we create an application that's actually functional and good enough to get people around a living and breathing circuit? But with respect to this weekend, it's all been about, setting the benchmark for connectivity, access. It's the first time that we've done e-ticketing as Formula One, and that is completely impossible without a partner like T-Mobile. So there's been all of these different elements, and then ultimately tapping into the marketing power of a T-Mobile as it related to concerts, fan zones, and engaging different audiences. So for us, it's been incredibly important and something that we've needed to be able to be successful in Las Vegas.
But you put 150,000 people there and it looks very different. And just to give the scale of it, and I'm glad you mentioned the Super Bowls, like this is a 3.8 mile track going through the center of Las Vegas for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Cars are going to go 220 miles an hour, and we have had to put in massive capacity. And that's what's kind of happening here. And we got about 50 different sites just covering this track, and we have speeds now 200, 300 megabits per second on average. We're putting in just this massive capacity that 5G gives compared to 4G. 4G couldn't at all. Like it was sort of a 30 to 40 megabits per second thing, and here we are like 10 times more.
This episode was made in partnership with T-Mobile for Business and iHeartMedia.